What secret could destroy your life if it got out? I failed out of college and didn't tell anyone. I lied about still being in school and pretended to go to classes. My parents still thought they were paying for my college. That is the worst part of this whole thing. I wasted 6 months and a good $5,000, if not more. I can't stop myself from lying. Half the time I lie about things that don't matter and should have just told the truth for, but I can't stop myself from doing it. All the lies I've told, big and small, all catch up to at one point or another and are seriously damaging my life. My parents and brother don't trust me at all anymore because I've done some incredibly stupid things and lied about them. I've also had to do things or tell bigger lies to cover what started out as a little white lie. Other people around me that have caught me in a lie don't know how to act around me anymore. I know I need to stop and I am trying, but the more I try to stop doing it, the more I do it. This is slowly destroying my life and my relationship with my family, and there is nothing I can about it. No more throwaway here. I see a lot of suicidal and incest posts, so mine is probably pale in comparison and will stay at the bottom. Anyway, I almost killed my sister years ago. She was about 3 and I was maybe 9 to 11 years old. I carried her to the terrace, 5 stories high including the ground floor. And like some dumb fuck, I placed her at the edge of the terrace, above a barricade of sorts. There was nothing to protect her from falling, and directly below, 5 stories down, is a cemented path. I don't remember what was so important I had to do that I left her dangling there, at death's edge. All I remember is, she was starting to sway backwards, towards the ground. Alarm bells started ringing in my head. So I ran and somehow managed to grab onto her just as she was about to fall. I felt my heart racing against my chest. I hugged her for a really long time. Too afraid to let go. To this day, I haven't told her, she's 25 now, nor my mom. Even typing this still makes me nervous. That height, how a baby's body would have ended up splattered all over the hard cemented pathway, how I could be institutionalized, how my family would have disowned me, how I would have missed watching her grow up, still haunts me. It developed an irrational fear in me, of carrying babies around. Even if I'm not the one carrying them. Or even if there is no height involved. Throw away for obvious reasons. I hit a smallish lottery, a few mil, a little while back and told absolutely no one, family and friends included. I took a bunch of steps to secure my kids' futures and we live a very comfortable but not lavish life. I'm pretty generous with the people around me. I think that they just think I'm doing very well career-wise, or something illegal under the table. I justify it by thinking that if this was general knowledge amongst friends and family it would ruin relationships. My priority needed to be my kids. Brought a knife to school to kill a kid, couldn't do it. I was a very angry, very lonely kid for a long time. That sort of piled up into an uncontrollable rage sometimes, and decided I had enough. At the end of school I saw him on the playground. I still had the knife in my pocket, but my dad miraculously saw me from the parking lot. I didn't get to do it. Then I realized my mistake. Nobody in my house knows my Reddit, so I'm safe. I'm gay. Most people think that if your parents love you they'll accept you. Fuck that noise. I had a cousin, let's call her Lily. Lily is a lesbian same as me. She came out to my mom, she trusted her, they were close. My mom beat her and called her a Satan child. Now you can see my predicament. I'm gay. Mom is crazy. The fact that my brother, my father, and I know that my mom has been cheating on my dad for the past 3 years. It's a complicated situation. This is an odd one, but here goes. My present location. I'm currently estranged from my family and recently got some cash and an insurance settlement. If my mother found out, she'd come running for a share of it so fast that it'd break the sound barrier. Light traveling from the sun would be like, bitch, yo, slow down. I've pretty much had to hide it and become a ghost. Right now all of my mail comes to a P.O. box and only 3 people know the address of where I'm staying at. And for you enterprising folks who want to track my IP, it routes through a cell tower about 30 miles away from where I actually am. Oh, and unrelated to the estrangement, me and my female cousin used to fuck. No one will read this. I am sure. But I'm 24. When I was 11, I had a soccer goal, toy, Lego footballs, and 2 figurines. I made fixtures for some made-up team and players, and played the matches. One season lasts 42 matches and there are 12 different teams, and I commentate them like it's a TV show. Other than that, I have made 10 different cup fixtures. Playing with the toys usually take 20 minutes. Well, 41 seasons later, and 152 cups, I'm still playing. Mostly when I know no one is around. I even debate the matches in my head, whenever I'm showering or trying to sleep. I just play with the figurines, and score goals using them for movement, and ball movement. I have a lot of books filled with imaginary results, etc. I feel like a dumbass. Been banging the babysitter for years. I know you think this is the best thing in the world right now, but consider this. They've been banging you for years and getting paid for it. My twin sister and I love each other. We love each other more than siblings should. I'm sure the incest would disgust a lot of people, and that alone would ruin a lot of relationships. Our parents and grandparents would probably disown and disinherit us. Other family would probably break off contact, and we'd lose a good chunk of our friends. I imagine news would spread like wildfire amongst our social circle. Our older sister might be the only person in our family who wouldn't outright condemn us, and I'm not even too sure about that. Sometimes we think about running away to Europe or something, so we can start new lives with fake identities. I created a throwaway because, though it seems kind of stupid, it could absolutely destroy everything I had built up. I am employed by a company that allows people to work remotely. They only hire in specific states in the US. Not only do I not live in one of those states, I don't even live in the US. I am a US citizen but am currently not in the US, and it's because of this job and the shitty economy in the country I'm in I get to live a pretty damned lavish life. For every $1 it's worth about 600% more here because the currency is weak, getting weaker, and it's just cheap as shit to live here anyways. I've been working for months and I've had some close calls. I screwed up a couple of times and they questioned me about it. I had to lie. How much I don't care about a lot of people in my life that like me. Co-workers, friends, family. There are a ton of them I just don't care for really, and I'm just civil with them for convenience. Some of them have done pretty nice things for me, and I am thankful. But there are still some I just don't really like that much. I used to not be like this. I used to try and maintain all the relationships. Now many old friends, people that live far away, I don't even make an effort. And I wonder if I ever cared at all. The weirdest part is in social situations, I'm really good at being friendly, and feigning interest in people's life. I've been complimented on being a nice and genuine guy. But there's this resentment I have for many people in my life that I keep hidden. The only people I really care for are a few close friends, my immediate family, and my girlfriend. Other than that, I'd rather just be alone. That I enjoy peeing in the sink when I'm home alone because it feels sort of taboo. I have a cross-dressing fetish, but am completely straight. I have an incredibly supportive girlfriend who knows, but I don't think I could ever handle telling anyone else, and Lord only knows what would happen my small social life. A really good lifelong buddy of mine dropped out of college after 9/11 and joined the army. He completed 3 tours in Iraq, got married, had a kid, all was great for him. His mom was the type that was close to his friends because they reminded her of him while he was away, so us guys would take her out and keep her company, as a group. One day she called me up and asked to go out and have a drink. She found some pictures or whatever of her son and I from childhood and she couldn't wait to share. We meet up at a local watering hole for a couple drinks and a few laughs. She kept feeding me drinks, and before I could say that it was time for me to head out she had her hands on me and was very forward. I admit it wasn't a decision that I was capable of making at that time, so I went with what felt good. We went back to my house and had some of the craziest tie-popping drunk sex. My buddy died in Iraq a few months later and I am a horrible person. I believe in aliens. Like, to an insane degree. I used to attempt to summon them in an effort to be abducted. I've spent countless hours and night upon sleepless night looking up abduction videos and the like online. Every time I think about aliens I get this adrenaline rush and feel so alive with the thought of hyper-intelligent, spiritually advanced, telepathically inclined beings. I dream of being abducted, or to at least come into contact with extraterrestrials. I guess this wouldn't necessarily destroy my life, per se. But my family is extremely religious and anything of this nature is a big no-no to them. Plus if anyone realized how much time and energy I've invested into this, I'm pretty sure they would think I'm a nut job and stop being friends with me. Well, I'm late to this party, but here goes anyway. I've been fucking my boss's wife for 4.5 years. We've never been caught by anyone and I don't even think anyone suspects anything. They have a dead bedroom, or at least that's what she's always told me. I believe her. They never go away on anniversary weekends or even do any date nights. She says that most nights he'll fall asleep way earlier than her and she'll sleep in a different room. That's comforting to me because I love her. It all started about 3 months after she got hired to work in the office at the warehouse we work. He is the warehouse manager and I am the second shift supervisor. Our plant runs 24 hours, aka 3 shifts. She works in the sales office. I was working in the office and trained her to take my position as I was moving on to be the plant supervisor. She started hitting on me right out of the gates, but I didn't think it was anything more than a flirtatious personality. She was out of my league from my perspective. Not to mention married to the guy who was about to be my direct boss. But after a few months she was straightforward about pretty much telling me all the things she wanted to do to me and let me do to her. For a while I was strictly no. I don't get involved with married women. If you're unhappy in your marriage, deal with that. But they have 2 kids and she wanted to keep the family together. He's a good father and they live a pretty comfortable life. Slowly she wore me down. I live about 3 miles from the plant. She comes over at minimum 3 days a week on her lunch. We usually see each other both Saturday and Sunday too, though not always. We are friends on Facebook but never like each other's stuff or send messages. When I see new family pics of them together I burn with rage. When we do company stuff or have cookouts and she stands near him or sits with him and he touches her, it's all I can do to contain the seething anger. I usually overcome it by rationalizing to myself that I'm actually the monster in this situation. Then I get angry at myself and can get over it quicker because eventually I redirect that anger towards her too. She knows I'm angry too and the next day she'll come over and make it up to me. 6 months ago his boss, who is a regional director about 5 hours away, put in his retirement. He will be retiring in 3 months. My boss is definitely getting his spot. Their house is going up for sale soon and they'll be moving. I am the one poised to take his position here at this plant. If we were to have ever been caught or were to get caught now, I'm sure I would be forced to resign and the fallout would be ruinous for all parties. She's going with him. I can rationally say that we'll all be better off. But I truly love her and would do damn near anything to have this play out in my favor. In the end though, it may already have ruined me. When I sit alone and think about it, I absolutely hate myself for all of this and have for a long time. Lying and cheating is not a part of my DNA. That I've been able to keep it up for so long makes me feel evil. In a lot of ways I hope I never forgive myself so that I'm the only person that ever gets hurt by me. I can't wait till she's gone but would give anything for her to stay. I never want to see her again. She'll be here in about an hour.